Come on! Free lunch!
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel where I cover vampires, werewolves, and all kinds of supernatural creatures. In this video we're going to take a look at the vampires from the television series Supernatural. This show had 15 seasons with 327 episodes. That's insane. Vampires were featured throughout the show, although there's a handful of episodes that solely focus on vampires. The show is based around the brothers Dean and Sam that hunt demons. In this video we're going to look at the origins of these vampires, how they are turned, abilities, weaknesses, and more. If you enjoy videos about vampires and other supernatural creatures, subscribe for new videos every week. Before we dive into all the lore, this video is sponsored by Aura. They've been a sponsor on the channel for a long time because it's a great service and I actually use it. What is Aura? It's everything you need to protect yourself online. Data brokers are making billions selling personal information without your consent and destroying your privacy in the process. And they make no effort to stop scammers, spammers, and who knows who else from buying it. Well, that's where Aura can help. Aura protects your privacy by identifying data brokers selling your info. Aura then takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your info from these sites and keeping it off. There's a lot of services that offer this too, but none of them offer as many features as Aura for the same price. You get all the tools you need to protect yourself online in one package. You get alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking, and to help keep you even more safe, Aura has a VPN, antivirus, password manager, and more. And in the worst case scenario, if anything does happen, Aura includes 5 million in identity theft protection. Protect yourself online and try Aura free for 14 days at aura.com/KoganLawlins or click the description down below. In those 2 weeks, Aura will get to work scrubbing your personal info off these data broker sites. Thanks so much to Aura for returning to sponsor another video. The origin of these vampires goes back millions of years. The alpha vampire was the first, and he talks of existing when humans first made fire and before that. His creator was none other than Lilith. Her origin is unknown, but she is very powerful and is somehow related to the creatures known as Leviathans. In Supernatural, we have heaven, hell, and possibly even worse, purgatory. The dimension known as purgatory was created by God because he feared his first creations. Known as Leviathans, they would destroy his other creations, so he locked them away. It's also stated in real biblical texts that God's first creations were so powerful that even he could not destroy them. Maybe this was the case here as well. At some point, Lilith also came to reside in purgatory. She is the creator of all alpha monsters in this series, but vampires are somewhat special because the alpha vampire was the first monster she ever created. We are never given an exact age for the alpha vampire, but he most likely existed long before humans. The first vampire also doesn't really have a name. He's just referred to as the first vampire, or father by his children, aka all other vampires. Eventually he turned others and created the race of vampires we know today, and all can be traced back to him. Vampires pass unnoticed in crowded cities, form nests that mimic families, and reproduce quietly. Living in a world of hunters like Sam and Dean means that secrecy is the key to vampire survival. By the year 2006, vampires had been hunted to near extinction and became so rare that John Winchester thought they were extinct. That was until they started to make a comeback, especially in 2011 after the alpha vampire ordered the existing nests to increase their numbers. Before the monsters made by Lilith, there were Leviathans, God's first creations. Banished to an alternate dimension known as purgatory because nothing else could live in a world where they roamed free. Like I said before, Leviathans were not created by Lilith. Instead, they are primordial creations of God. The hierarchy goes like this: Leviathans on the top, alphas, then the rest of the lower species. How vampires are turned. In Supernatural, for a human to be turned into a vampire, they must drink vampire blood. Being bitten will not turn someone. After the human consumes vampire blood, they will still be part human until they consume human blood to complete the process. Newly turned vampires are always confused and disoriented, especially while adjusting to their overwhelmingly sharp senses and sensitivity to light. Bloodlust usually sets in not too long after and drives the newly turned vampire into a killing spree. They then normally seek out the one who changed them, known as their maker, and accept them as their leader. Most of the vampires shown in the series develop or are integrated into a nest or hive immediately. Also, once a newly turned vampire feeds on human blood, the transformation is effectively permanent. The only known cure being a potion recorded in a journal by an ancestor of the Campbell family of hunters. The ritual calls for the blood of a new vampire's sire and will not work if the subject has fed on human blood already. Other known ingredients include garlic and sage. The reversion is apparently quite painful, but no secondary effects are retained. Biology and physiology. These vampires appear identical to humans and are nearly undetectable just by looking at them. They don't have glowing eyes, pale skin, and their fangs are retractable. Instead of two fangs like a classic vampire, they have a full mouth of sharp teeth that retract over their human teeth. These vampires have similar fangs to the vampires in 30 Days of Night. They are immune to sickness and disease and are immortal unless killed by an external force. Like a lot of vampires, age is correlated with power. Over centuries or possibly millennia, vampires become smarter, faster, and stronger. They also possess heightened senses like supernatural sight, night vision, hearing, and sense of smell, enough to smell fear, track a specific person, or pick out human blood from a long distance, as well as hear a human's heartbeat like Dracula from Van Helsing. Vampires' diet. Human blood is standard. Some nests don't like feeding on humans, preferring animal blood instead. This animal blood blunts the instincts though. This is pretty common in vampire series that those that feed on animal blood are slightly weaker than vampires that feed on human blood. Vampires will often hunt for humans like the vampires from Near Dark or the Lost Boys, using their charm to lure people in rather than physical force all the time. Their rules are there to protect secrecy. Don't make waves, don't overfeed locally, and don't recruit recklessly. Sometimes there is territory disputes among rebel groups of vampires, so they're not all on the same side.
You American hunters tend to see vampires as criminals, rogues.
Vampire abilities. Superhuman strength, speed, and reflex is enough to ragdoll humans with ease. Their speed is such that they can appear or disappear in the blink of an eye. They have very impressive durability and regeneration. Bullets will slow them down, but will not kill them. Given only minutes, a vampire can walk off injuries that would normally kill a human. Their healing ability is so good that with enough time and blood, they can heal from almost anything. However, they cannot regrow limbs that are severed. It seems age deepens more than just physical abilities. Elders project a chilling calm, part imitation, part laser focus. The alpha vampire scales all this up even more. Faster, harder to injure, and quicker to heal. Where an ordinary nest leader is terrifying, the alpha is a force of nature.
I know what time it is.
Get in.
When it comes to vampire weaknesses, decapitation is final. Beheading is the gold standard. Although fire and catastrophic trauma can disable, decapitation ends them for good. These vampires are similar to the ones from Vampire Chronicles in that they cannot drink dead man's blood. This is extremely toxic to vampires. Whether you inject it, smear it on a blade, or lace bait with it, you'll weaken or paralyze a vampire long enough to restrain or behead. So as you just heard, these vampires don't have too many supernatural weaknesses. Crucifixes, holy water, garlic, wooden stakes don't work. Sunlight also does not kill or make vampires burst into flames. Instead, it's compared to a bad sunburn. So it will still hurt vampires, and this is why they usually only operate at night, but it will not kill them. There is some other unique vampire killing techniques and magical items I want to talk about. First we have Vamptonite. This is human blood with DNA altered by Leviathan corn syrup. Okay, this altered blood kills them quickly like acid, melting them. Vampire irradiation gun. There's a group of men known as the British Men of Letters, and at some point they invented this weapon through a combination of technology and magic that irradiates vampires, reordering their DNA, turning their own blood toxic, killing them. The anti-vampire device. The British Men of Letters also invented this weapon. It again is a combination of technology and magic that creates a gas that is poisonous to vampires. Next is the spear, a weapon powerful enough to kill even an archangel. It was also used to kill several of Michael Grace's enhanced vampires. These vampires were empowered and slightly stronger than ordinary ones. Finally, we have the cult. This weapon I want to talk about a little more in depth because I find it extremely interesting, and it is used on many vampires, including the Alpha. The Colt looks like an ordinary gun, but it's far from it. It's so powerful that it can kill almost anything in existence except Lucifer and 4 unknown beings. Literally in the show, Lucifer says there's only 5 beings that can't be killed with the Colt, and I'm one of them. He never names who the others are. The Colt was created by the hunter Samuel Colt. John Winchester didn't even believe it existed until he received a letter from his old friend who had owned it for some years, but kept it a secret. It's so rare, most people, even hunters, only believe it's some kind of legend. According to this legend, anything shot by the Colt would die, as long as you're using one of its 13 original bullets. Multiple times this weapon is used to kill powerful creatures and demons that could not be defeated any other way. The Alpha Vampire was one of its victims. That's my video on the vampires from Supernatural. I've wanted to take a look at this series for a while and it's been requested many times. This vampire species is definitely one of my favorites I've seen in a while. Very interesting origin story with Lilith being their creator, having no weakness to religious objects, their 30 days of night like fangs, and just the overall quality of the show. I would definitely recommend Supernatural to any fans of vampires, demons, and other creatures. If you'd be interested in a video about the werewolves from Supernatural, let me know in the comments down below, as I'd really like to make that video to follow up this one. Also, let me know if there's any other TV shows, movies, or video games you want me to cover. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe for new videos every week. As always, an extra shout out to all my members who have been with the channel for so long. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.